I think I'm gonna go ahead and spark us off just with the same unity kind of vibe here, just to get, get the flow going for the second round here. And so this one I actually wrote for Propaganda Poet when he did his feature. It's called Human Unity. Bear paws, wolf teeth, steel blades, bone sheath, creep silent, no speak. Tonight we feast, blessed meat, greens from endless rows, plant seeds and they shall grow. Old enough to know this story just goes and goes and goes. Rain falls, rivers flow, sky delivers snow. Move close, it's getting cold. But this is the path we chose. Ancestral twine twists ropes, binds our minds together with hope. Future ever changing. We been switching lanes. Be amazing. Rearrange this reality. Convergence of our mentality. The urgency of our unity is stronger than it'll ever be. So follow me. The sounds, you and me, create humanity. Let's make this planet great for the future seeds to grow and blossom. This earth could be awesome if the first step we take is together as one.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right.
Hey,
Dope, dope.
Take that first step
dope.
together.
Yeah. That was dope.
Yeah. Bet. All right. Peace out, CP, man. Yo, that was amazing, everybody.
Oh.
CP made. Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah.
Whew. Let's all give it up for Gustav.
Oh, it's
Magus.
I'm gonna clear this up. I'm gonna take this opportunity. It's the Magus Gustav Salas.
Yes.
The Magus Gustav Salas. There we go. And here it is.
Sir, Magus.
This is called the Red State Blues. Our governor's attitude is devil may care, feeling like you're drowning, no coming up for air. So sick of propaganda, it's hard to watch the news. The diagnosis is clear. I've got the Red State Blues. Red State Blues, we must find a cure. Red State Blues, the virus is pure. Hatred and theocracy comes to rule from the pews. You better bet I got the Red State Blues. Complicit with governors, you ignore the law. To hell with the Constitution, it sticks in my craw. Red State Blues, the left shocked and awed. Red State Blues, they're co-opting God. Red Republicans claim to revere and cherish life. They created viral death panels, their hypocrisy's rife. How can so many fools ignore all the clues? They don't care at all. We got the Red State Blues. A minority like Horton who can't hear the who's, deaf, dumb, and blinded by the Red State Blues. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I've got one more. I've got
Magus.
one
Magus,
more.
I'm sit up there. I sit up. I swear to God, I heard the BB King Lucille in the background with the Red State Blues.
Thank you. I love BB. All right.
I heard Lucille talking through that Red State Blue because she felt it just like me, man. Yes,
Nice.
sir. I understand exactly what you talked about.
Nice. Thank you. This is called The Widow's Son. Must I still search for the one to heal the wounds of the widow's son? Or have I found her inside you, strong yet weak, for wounded too? Can our love help to heal, as only love can when it's real? For I have died and been reborn. Cast off the cloak, for it was worn. Still reeling we are from 3 grave wounds, wandering lost in the desert's endless dunes. Struggling against tyranny and superstition, the head wound of mind control through repetition, the death of thought, the road to perdition, the throat wound to silence us all, to silence our tongue, has turned us to liars, everyone, slaves to a freedom in name only, lost in a crowd, perpetually lonely, dying by degrees for the courage to say what you think and feel, for it won't go away. The wounded heart is the real ass kicker. Human feeling atrophied, there's nothing sicker. Narcissism, sociopathy crowd you to the borderline, living this lie, pretending everything is fine. I propose to heal the wounds of the human spirit. I write this now in hopes that you can hear it. Tyranny thrives because we let it. Don't buy their lies. Please don't forget it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Gustav, the magus. Salad.
Gustav Sellers. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he gave us some game.
Nice respect, always.
All right, man. Yo, hey, thanks for showing up, Gustav. We hope you get some good sleep tonight, man. I don't know how you're gonna fall asleep after that CP Maze feature, bro. Like, you're gonna have to down like a bottle of sleeping pills and so a bottle of NyQuil, man. Maybe a swift smack to the head with a hammer.
Indeed. He knocked my socks off too.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, great poets. I love you all.
Good night,
We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you.
Always. One love.
All right, y'all. So yeah, next we got Zomkhonto. Let's give it up for Zomkhonto.
Much respect. This one is entitled, I would have told my carpentry teacher I loved trees. To miseducate a child is to miss the chance to create something so wild in its imagination. Something one hot air balloon short of its helium soul, and to watch it lift from the ground to the sound of morning birds, to the skin of the sky, and see the ridiculous vastness of it all the way they imagined. Or if you, like me as a child, to remain amongst the trees and let the spirit of the forest speak and bleed into me, such that whatever poetry was growing inside me is tentacled with the branches that carry my ancestors' breasts, their chests and shoulders the size of baobab trees. When I heard my carpentry teacher had passed away, a sudden sadness put a chainsaw to his memory. By all accounts, he was a good man, a man of iron discipline. But to us forest lovers, this man was no god. We had seen trees that towered above him. He was no emperor. The trees had seen his naked soul. But when I heard that he died, something put a chainsaw so deep into his memory, and I heard the loud scream at the root of it. And eventually it crashed with a thunderous silence in the depth of the forest. And I haven't been there ever since. But I walk back to see it and where it lies today with this poem. So these are the things that I never got to say to you, Mr. Ngwenya. I loved trees. I woke up in the morning every day to climb a tree, right in the middle of the front yard, dead center of one of the tiniest spaces in the world. A fir tree so majestic, I thought it lived part of its days in the heavens. I thought that somewhere in the sky lived this large, smiling woman called God, and that she let that fir tree sit in between her thighs and braided the sweet fruit of its tree into its afro puffs. I loved trees. And when they cut that tree around the same time that you started teaching me, you were dead to me. Your classroom became the workshop of the devil. To miseducate a child is to tell them that beauty can only come from destroying the things that you love. That certain things can only be pieced together by breaking their spirits. In a classroom, this very second, there is a child learning that puppetry is not geometry, that tape dancing in the sky is not astronomy, that studying insects is silly since yellow jackets do not sell in the stock market, and that their ancestors were not the same voices they had in the forest, in the songs of their roots, the same ones whose tongues you urged us to chop into pieces and stop their poetry mid-sentence. And the next one is called God's Eyelashes.
Whoa!
For a second.
1 second. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
The
Yeah,
imagery,
we gotta pause. That
Try to
was
slide.
so
You try to slide past it like
Bro, you
just
gotta
slide
give
past
it
it.
up for a minute here.
Much respect.
Yo,
Thank you.
I want to close my eyes when I listen to you, but I don't even have to. It's better to watch you perform it. It's like you could paint this picture in my visual field, bro. Like with my eyes open, I get open eyes hallucinations, bro. Listening to you and watching you perform, man. It's so amazing, so powerful, man.
Yeah, Zomkhonto, that ain't easy to make people see what you speak, and you make folks see it, and that's not an easy thing. Folks can hear you. We can usually hear stuff and still like what we hear, but to be able to see what we hear, say, man, that's a hell of a feat, man. My hat's out to you for real, man.
Much respect, much respect. I appreciate that. One love. Thank you. The next poem is called God's Eyelashes. For a second, I took my eyes away from the sky. And in just that seemingly infinite nothingness of time, I missed it. I missed you and God locked in a gaze like conjoined spirits in a millisecond that lasted for days. I missed God's smile and blink for a while to leave butterfly earthquakes in your childlike eyes. I guess I was distracted by the reflection of the sun inside them. I was studying to see if the heat could withstand the stare down when each single ray walks down inside them and finds a raging fire unlike the sun could ever dream. When for the first time the sun beholds its reflection in anything else other than water, as if seeing its vision through this mirror made of pure diamonds. Then I noticed you smile wide, and I thought that was odd. And the cloud covered the sun like an eclipse. It was God. That is how I noticed God's reflection on your strawberry lips. I turned around and was amazed. They say look away when God appears, but I took in God's shapeless form and felt myself burst with the entire unwritten infinite cosmos. I was taken to the utmost where the only other beings were just you and me. I remember thinking if God does this every morning, then give us a siren warning or something, because when God blinks, God's eyelashes cause highway crashes as comets fall from the dark night. Because when God winks, it leaves the whole universe less intact and shakes the Milky Way so hard that it gushes into black holes and leaves the sky lactose intolerant. If God does this every day, then this planet is in trouble. You know, I've already dreamed you suckling a child who won't as yet reveal her face in my dreams. Her beauty is still being put together from the veins of medicinal leaves. I think I've told you I've never held pearls in my palms, but I suspect that your eyes are pearls. But if it was granted to me the chance by God to watch over them for one night, I'll probably wait for you to sleep, then pop them gently, tip them from their sockets into my hands, leave you blind for an eternity, then keep staring at them in my palms until they reveal exactly what you saw in me. Because you stared at me expansively and expensively, I'll be too slow to remove my eyes and place them right there next to yours, until I've memorized the maps of all the places in the world that these pearls in my palms have dreamed to see. I would even go back to your past, see every lucky match that heard the song of those beautiful feet that hold up your resilient bones. I'll treat those pearls like a pair of crystal balls, reading inside them the future, divining in them the pain that you've seen, feeling the texture of your language of sorrow, such that if we speak again tomorrow, I can choose my words according to your every emotion, carefully, every curve of it, and learn what hurts you in the gut sense of words, so that I never punch you there, even with an accidental elbow. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Zomkhonto, bro. I was not ready. Whew.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike.
My face hurts.
It's
Yo.
amazing.
For real, like I'm always smiling. I'm like, I hope Zomkhonto ends his set at 5 minutes because my face starts to hurt at 6 minutes.
Right? I've been in 6 weeks of stuck like this for the rest of the day.
Love it.
Oh, love it. That was so dope, man. So dope. All right, so coming up next, we got the Admirable One.
Oh, I have to
Yeah.
follow him. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm sure you do just fine.
Oh, okay.
But let's all give it up for the Admirable One.
This one's called Love, Cancer, Drunken Thoughts. The music just speaks to me. So I write every word that it's trying to say. I'm torn in between the two. I want to be loved and I want to be left alone. I can envision you. I can feel you. I can describe every moment before we can even say hello. I wear my heart on my sleeve on purpose. I want you to see, I need you to feel, I expect you to crave the amount of love that I'm willing to give. And it's funny how I think I possess myself like the government think they possess humanity. So take me away, open my heart, make it pure, don't let it break. Treat me like a cancer patient and soothe my emotions. I'm dying inside with every time I think I'm going for treatment with your chemo of betrayal. Living is not an option anymore. Sand castles, beautiful sunsets, or sunrises aren't enough to romance me, so think creatively. Be sure to make that perfect drawing with every line, every shade, every emotion on that canvas that's already filled with your judgment. Thanks for not giving me a chance. And I can't help but to think about how your marriage will end up. I'm hurt. I can't lie about that. You're on person number 2 and I have yet to find one, and I'm the one who's willing to fight for love. You're just moved by the lust and lies, but hey, if you're happy, I'm happy for you. And it's sad that I have to get to this point to really tell you how I'm feeling. I mean, don't blame me, blame the bartender who keeps selling me these empty dreams that I can't seem to stop buying. And I'm not jealous, just disgusted with life, disappointed with the past, trying to control the present, and the future can't snap out of it and save me because it's stuck on its own emotions with the thought about saving me, and that thought was already part of its past. I just think you're a little bit too money hungry. Perfect credit, only smoky mirror show, big house, nice car, a vision of a perfect family, but tell me how you really feel inside. Don't mind me, I'm just going through the motions, and I'm over here thinking about how you ended up as a friend, not willing to fight for a friendship that brought you to the light. Man, get over yourself. It's time to reach out. Be the bigger person in the crowd. Why do you always have to use someone to get somewhere? Why don't you get off your high horse and help yourself? Better yet, try to help someone else. At the end of the day, friendship means something when your family treats you like nothing. Man, I'm over your optical illusion, so turn off the light and save me from drowning. Man, I'm writing on my notepad and it's nothing but murder with my words. The music plays and I just listen. It gives me the gateway to explore these visions in my head. Unspoken words, afraid of silliness, because people can't handle raw thoughts. Truth is just the blank phase of tearing someone's skin till they're raw because their own thought, conscience, is tearing them apart due to personal brutal criticism. Yes, I've come to pass my denial stage and accept the fact that I am dying. So stop crying and move on beyond yourself. You told me no, and to move on. And now cancer is nothing more but a realization that the world is nothing and I'm just dust. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Don't you dare put that picture on your t-shirt, because those memories, man, they won't stay that long. Thank you.
That was insane.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
insane. I want you to read it again right now. I want you to start it and read it again right now. That was so good.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Something people would get like tattoos of. Like that was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
The room is insane.
All right, this is my favorite one. It's like lovey dovey, whatever. Okay. Make use of me. Give me all your energy. Don't defeat me, just release me. Make me see the light that shines through and take out the darkness that has come within me. Liberate me from my selfish ways. Have me indulge in the purest of pure mental, emotional thoughts. Keep my heart whole and seal it so that way it doesn't get broken anymore. I'm in need of you. Lust. Lust isn't anything but a word, baby. When we connect, it affects more than just the world. And I don't regret before this, I didn't even feel anything anymore because my mind and my heart was so abused by these enabling boys. Man, oh man, my mind is captivated. Sensuality isn't the key, it's more like chemistry. So tell me, do you love me? Enlighten me. Draw me a picture with creativity. I am your canvas. So paint me with vivid colors and reality. Snap me back into life and let me explore thee. Make use of me. I want you to see what I see when I look at you, baby. You aren't on a pedestal. You are so much higher than that. So crave me, taste me, process this emotion that I am transmitting. This is stronger than us. It's just too far out there in the universe to even reach, but I can promise you that when I'm with you, I feel every single thing. Thank you. That's my time, y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
We love you.
Love it.
Yes, so
Good
good.
job.
Yes.
Well said, poet.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Oh, and look, we got Atlas showing up at the last minute too. Awesome. All right.
Wow.
CC Miller, if you would be so kind as to bless us with your word.
I'm a big fan of comic books. Pretty much anything that my firstborn brother wouldn't let me touch, I fell in love with and had to be all over. So this piece is called Hero, about my least favorite comic book. He told me stories of that favorite memory. Just remember thinking, that's your hero? Okay. He came light years away to a place he was superior to in every way, and a rock could rock him to his knees, but his most frequent near-death experience comes at the hand of one Lois Lane. Maybe that's why you low-key despise a woman with a brain. Label her unsubmissive or masculine for having the skills to survive this dystopia we live in. Here I was thinking a match is defined by what is shared in common. Mismatch would be your preference when all your stories teach you that's what love is. That the matching symbol of hope on her chest stands for subjugation. If she comes equipped with a mind, a mouth, and a messiah, baby boy, what is your role then? Your stories leave you suffering identity crisis. And that's your hero. Okay. I know he was your favorite uncle. If he was a mentor to you, maybe he would have told you you could break your own heart trying to break his record of bodies. His youthful and experienced audience in need of balance couldn't be expected to understand this, but y'all, man, y'all don't get many chances at this. You mess around and catch feelings for an infatuation unrequited. You don't recuperate like women. I'm sorry. There's no biological imperative that's superlative to the Holy Spirit. Somebody should have told you. A man would have told you. Or maybe not. It was Lemuel's mom who gave him the game of what makes a man a king, was it not? It was Mary who first got word from God of who, what, where for her body was bringing forth into this world. It was Deborah that Barak asked to follow into war. It was by J.L.'s tent pen. It was one. Some of y'all thinking I'm on some feminist kick to spit the simple truth of this. But that thought wouldn't cross your mind if I was writing about David. So let's do that. 'Cause okay, now that's a hero. When he nearly lost his temper and brought about mad reproach, he listened to a woman of discretion and beautiful form who brought his common sense home, and he promptly proposed. Speaking of heroes with heroines, let's talk about our favorite founding father, Abraham, who Jehovah told Sarah she talked too much to shut up and listen to him. No, that's not at all the way that story went. Her beauty struck severe enough fear into her man that he devised a plan to spare his life from it. When her crown needed protection, God told him to listen to his wife. A lot of y'all can't stomach what I'm about to say next, but our ultimate hero likens himself to a tender, protective, motherly hen. On that note, I now bow low to the real heroes of men who already know where to prioritize the value of the stories they've been told. That's heroes.
Wow, yo, so
Yo.
good. I love the delivery and your
Oh.
performance.
I don't even have
Wow.
words.
I had to pick up the
That was
laptop
crazy.
to go and show someone. I'm like, see this, watch.
Yo, like just those subtle little like just your subtle gestures and like just
I
and your
love the
performance is really
sarcasm
captivating.
so much.
Yeah, that
Oh, it was
like,
so
what?
good.
Wow,
Oh,
Thank
so
you.
good.
that was
Oh,
beautiful.
Oh, I'd love to hear that poem again sometime.
Same, same.
Perform that one very often. It's just for fun. One more piece?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
no, wait,
Not too fast.
can I just tell all you guys that this is the American Sign Language symbol for more, and I've just been doing this like more. Can we get-
Nice.
So we can all do this with the mics muted when we went more, please.
Oh,
More?
nice. Good to know. Thank you for that.
I actually volunteer with the deaf as well. So I appreciate that. I saw you earlier. I was asking you, do you interpret? There's two pieces fighting for me right now. And I'm like, I don't know, babies.
Do them both.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This one's called We Were Pretending. Satire is my favorite thing next to the Volta and poetic devices. So there's that. We were pretending to be finished. Graduates of kiddom, masters of our futures. We were pretending to have figured out fears we never saw coming. We broke rules in the pretense that grown-ups don't use them. We made mud pies of friendship, set them on asphalt to bake, but never ate because you. We treasured our imaginary friends long after we told people that imaginary friends were stupid. Yet we were wired to them, willing to live and die for them, blew the breath of life into them. If ever a glitch should keep us apart, we played God. We fantasized adulthood to be some kingdom we would all reign in. And when it rained inside, our castles were all built of and on sand, but we rebuilt them in short stories. When I grow up, we said, insert lack of introspection here, irrespective of the narrative we spent all that time perpetuating on ourselves because we pretended to be grown, to make ourselves whole from broken homes that were everyone's norm. And no one's throne was ever good enough to remain sat upon, but we would not be deposed. We moved on from places we never left. Most of us became what we dreaded. Some of us learned the trick to sandcastles, a little more distance from the ocean and a little more patience. And some of us still have imaginary friends, even some that don't come wired to obey our commands, but they do what we say anyway. Because in our make-believe world, fake is perceived to be anyone who won't and still walks around like they okay. Anyone who knows that being grown means the rules were the only way to get there safe. Not that we weren't pretending to. We just know that's what's happening when we do. Like how in this minute I am writing myself to okay, but I'm afraid my mom will see it in my face. She'll know that I'm not there yet, that I'm not grown, and I am just pretending to be.
My goodness.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
Thank
All
you.
right, hit us with another one.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, so good. You're so good.
Thank you. This baby is probably one of my favorite pieces and the piece that's waiting to be born. It's called Mute. There's a really long story behind it that I don't have time for tonight, but maybe one day we'll have tea and talk. We mourned the emotions buried unmasked beneath mute tongues. Maybe if we had thrown ourselves on the casket, a tragic cabinet of questions hung open wouldn't have unhinged us. Maybe if the flowers had come sooner, the doors we could pass through would be as welcoming as inviting. In writing, we could say the things In private, the things would say our names. In silence, they would perish in a well mud deep in wishes. Our mourning isn't black enough. Our wailing isn't wild enough. Our words are not enough. The emotions get no justice. Aborted, muted. Where our dreams try to resuscitate us, and our children claw at the soil with fingers that will tire inches into burial grounds, mistook as sacrilegious when they are anything but. Reaching for the feelings in desperate, separate, starched and pressed, kneeling in the surrogate brain of our pain, soaking our prodigy and our poverties of time and energy. I guess it's good for busily building, growing things, but the grass is rooted deeper in our emotions than our emotions are in cortex. In context, our amygdala will only smile a knowing smile at those secrets, but we will ever be in mourning. Till the feeling noise breaks through to us, we will never see a morning until the emotions are rescued from the gentle night we kept them in. We will ever be in mourning. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Was it
Yo.
kind of amazing?
Welcome to Open Mind, Open Mic. We hope to
My
see you here every Friday night. You are
Yeah.
part of the fam.
Always.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was so
What was
fun.
your
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Definitely,
All those.
definitely. So yeah, Mattie, if you want to go ahead and bless us with some words, yo, do some more of those poems you had.
I'm
have
going to.
written.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm doing only half written stuff now. I found so many in my notes. And by the way, let me say, like, my energy level today is that of a
I know, right?
bursting
Yo, me too,
supernova.
man. Yo.
So I hope my enthusiasm is not bothering anybody.
Your
Nah, man.
enthusiasm
Yeah, I think
is
we all
amazing.
feeling it. Yeah,
Okay.
CP got us
Thank
so
you.
hyped, yo.
Thank you. Okay, I have a few. Most of them are mostly short, so I will start with this one. None of them have names. The man finishes on my back and then asks, "What else do you want me to do to you?" I ask him, "What does love feel like to you if my hands have to be tied behind my back?" I lay down my cards. The boys always want a bargain but can't put up their end. I mean, don't you dare quote the sacred text at my funeral. Don't say, "Holy Father, God says you want more than you deserve." Take all the names out of my mouth that are not mine before they prepare me for the wake and dare call me beautiful in death. Do not take the Lord's name in vain, my mom says. I ask her, "What more do you want from this life?" And then I listen to the woman who created me, who was taught her own purpose by man after man, her father, our father, my father. She is tongue-tied and cannot sign the answers with her hands tied behind her back. Zeus can't stop touching his kids and then condemning them to a cursed life. All the male gods can't stop fucking their children over. I keep reenacting my crucifixion. I find the man who asks, "What do you want me to do to you?" Instead of studying my joy hours. What does love feel like to you if you couldn't show me without your gun? I mean, your pelvis. I mean, this is how you love, right? Boy says you have two choices, but if you really want the part, you'd make the right one. Prove it to me. I have enough personal history of sexual assault to be an entire Me Too movement in a single step. I want me to myself. I have been known to let any man play God for a night, but tonight let me crucify the bed frame itself and each of its notches. Jesus would love this shit. Jesus would curse his father for what he had to live through too.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yo, those are
intensity.
unfinished poems. They're just short poems, man. Like,
They are
yo, they so
unfinished.
good.
They have been like by unfinished, I mean I like write them, I put them in my notes and then I forget them. And then I come back and I had forgotten that I wrote them. So I found them, I found them all today. And like most of the things I found today, I don't remember them. So it's like a gift to myself. All right, I have,
But the
And a
way you
gift to all of
connect
us
words,
too.
Yeah, it gets to all of us too, right?
the way your themes connect, you know, like from the beginning with your hands tied behind your back, and then your mom's hands tied behind the back, and then you contemplating your crucifixion, and then the bed frames, and like everything is just so connected. It's like,
Thank you. All right, I have a couple more if you guys will have me. Have you ever gotten a phone call or a text message that made your blood run cold? I mean, have you ever not heard from someone in so long that you didn't know if they woke up today or yesterday or last week? Dear everyone who has ever thought they were too important to pull over for an emergency vehicle speeding with sirens sounding down a road that you were traveling onto, you are not the authority on chaos, so come down from your pedestal. This is an ode to the EMT who makes $19.26 an hour to turn off people's smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and give CPR to overdose kids in their own home while their parents watch their firstborn child die in front of them. Dear impatient driver, you are not the king of the hill. I don't care if your coffee is getting cold. I don't care if you're late for work or for a late night booty call. I don't care about how you feel or your anger and inability to process your own superiority complex and impatience born from who fucking cares. And similarly, 2 years ago, and I'm sure 1,000 times since, a construction worker was sliced through the femoral artery and couldn't afford the time or the financial cost to get an ambulance ride. His best friend drove him in his Toyota Camry, 100 miles an hour on the freeway. I mean, a woman blocked his every attempt to get into a faster lane. I mean, a woman let her own hubris and who she believes is God get in the way of a speeding bullet that was pronounced dead on arrival 15 minutes later on the side of the highway. I mean, pull over. I mean, crush your ego and imagine someone saying goodbye to a set of crushed ribs on the tarmac while you think about yourself on the same penny. If you turn it over, mental illness makes a terrible driver. And how many times have you gotten that panic button call only to hear your own voice on the other line? When will you pull over and rescue yourself, even if it only is a fire alarm prank, even if you just won't want to call this a paper cut of sorts? I mean, how long have you been bleeding out, speeding down a highway, no seatbelt, eyes closed, praying for the guts to close them long enough for someone else to make the call at time of death? Mental illness makes you entitled, pushy about helping, about hope, prickly on the subject of health. How dare you call me sick? How dare you call me wrong? I didn't take my foot off the pedal from 12 to 25 years old because mornings kept coming and I kept not dying. But when it's head sick, when it's not just a bad cold, you'd be surprised how little your body can survive off of. I mean, you can't wish yourself gone without cutting. You can't disappear the shame. Someone has to grab the wheel and pull you off the road.
Once again,
Yeah.
I said you cannot say them are incomplete poems no more.
oh,
Them are complete poems.
Mental
Yo.
illness, sides. What was that line? Run it back. The mental illness as a driver.
Mental, shit. Mental
This
illness makes a terrible driver.
oh, and
How
I'm
long
doing,
have you been bleeding out?
Yeah.
I had a stutter when I was a kid. I could barely say shit right back then. And now look at me, eyes half masked, heart, a wire, a plug in the lip, Zippo. To the kid, I believe you. Where is the break for the breath? I just got out of here, it feels like. I just paid the bail. It cost me everything. I'm sore all the time these past few months. I believe you. I did everything right and I can't stop the sick. I believe you. From pouring itself into me and around me, I believe you. Sometimes I feel so helpless that the background noise of people loving me as best they can cannot distract me. I believe you. I mean, nothing can detract or distract from this grief, from a childhood that I thought I already paid for. I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
it's done.
I feel like if the baby stopped talking, you just have to accept what the baby says. Sometimes the baby stop talking.
I will do more, but I know I can go again later and I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you so much, everybody. I love you guys.
That was beautifully spoken.
Well, definitely
Baby,
loop
you
back
can no
around.
longer say those are incomplete poems.
Yeah.
Those are complete thoughts. Everything that you done spit tonight is complete thoughts. So you can no longer say that those are incomplete
Yeah.
poems.
Yes, true.
All
True.
right. Who
Thank
just
you.
You
look-
guys missed Mattie's
Alright.
feature. It's on our
Alright, she
YouTube
gotta go. She gotta
now.
go.
I
She gotta
literally
go.
would love to, like, months from now, if you guys need a feature, I will feature again.
All right, so coming up next, we got Carmen Gil. Carmen, if you be so kind to bless us with them
Yeah.
words.
Miss Poetic Pip slap herself.
This one is called Don't Touch My Hair. Please don't touch my hair unless you will touch my curves with love, patience, and Mother Earth. Do not caress my hair and marvel at my gorgeous wild curls that cascade like a wondrous thought. Each curl pattern traced with heritage and culture that dates back to the day of slaves. I refuse to tame it for you. If I ever slick back this bounty, it is my own doing, for my personal beauty. Do not enjoy the softness that falls around my face. You love nuzzling when we embrace, unless you are capable of wiping away the tears before they touch the curls. Kissing the sadness away from my cheeks, capable of reassuring me the days I am unable to love myself enough. Strong enough for days I will feel like I am not enough, because I am undoing the want to be told I am pretty, to be known I am wanted, adored. That doing nothing isn't the same unless it's with me. I am unlearning to need these things, unlearning the want for them, since the ones I craved it from most would say, as long as I am with you, that knowledge should be enough. You see, don't touch my hair unless you are ready for the thoughts that are as complex as the curls that make me look unruly and yet amazing. The same thoughts that will make you breathless. Do not touch my hair unless you are ready to love all of me and not just what you see. And I have one more.
Yeah.
love it.
I love that one.
That's right. You tell them.
You tell her.
That's beautiful.
And tell me you didn't earn the name Miss Poetic Pimp Slap with that poem right there.
Thank you.
I like that. That's
Um,
a dope one.
My next one is called Chapters. Shallow breaths, clouded thoughts, hands shaking, unable to comprehend the words, thoughts and images plaguing the already tortured mind. Stout face, blank stare, grasping the situation, refusing to allow the next move to be known. Calculated, free falling resulted in this. Cold hands, irrational moods leading to even more irrational decisions. Another chapter unwritten. Lead in thin air, both characters grasping onto the edge of the page, hoping to gain some clarity of their faith. Unable to move forward without any hint nor context clues. The binding coming undone at the seams. Pages tumbling off the old weathered desk of time. The inevitable that was bound to happen occurred. Both knew it was bound to happen. Neither one was willing to accept it. Tried their hardest to fight against the typewriter that stamped the words onto the worn pages. Fought against the very actions embedded within. Pushed against the ending, pulling them apart. Walking hand in hand until time took a hold of them and pulled them apart with reluctance. Even time had favorites. Each one hanging onto their own page, looking with pleading eyes, knowing that there wasn't any way to change the outcome. The typing ceased. The last clicks echoed off the walls. The seam barely holding on with the last stitch, words fading quickly. They looked at each other fearfully and accepting time has arrived. As much as they tried creating their own path, paved a new road, only 2 sets of footprints, that still wasn't enough to finish this tale peacefully. With a breath, they uttered their final words, loosening their grip on their page, slowly fading just as the words, keeping their eyes on each other, not wanting to lose a single moment of keeping that connection between them, remembering every single crease, wrinkle, smile, twinkle in the eye, the cover of their neck, the way their hair gently swayed as they tumbled, trying to catch each other as they fell, fingertips barely touching just enough to make their hearts soar one last time, creating soft, somber smiles, gentle looks of bittersweet emotions between them. As the final stitch failed, just as the tender, sweet dreams they shared, torn weather sheets, once imprinted with the hopeful stares, carrying words, sweet nothings, floating gently to the ground that are now bare. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
Carmen.
so much.
Wow.
That was beautiful. Yes.
Drop the
beautiful.
Instagram again in the chat, please, and say it out loud so people watching the recording can catch it.
Yeah, well, hey, y'all go
Yeah.
to the Open Minds link tree. I got everybody linked up on there. Y'all look at connect with the community section. I got everybody's link trees, Instagram, whatever links to reach y'all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, man. Hey, coming up next, fresh off a fat spliff, Mr. Throwed himself, E. Cole. Let's all give it up for E. Cole, baby.
What it do, what's cracking, what it was, what the business is. Get the D. I call this poem, this first poem I'm supposed to do, I call this poem Talking My Shit. This poem, this pad want to be in the mood and trip. Okay, let that whole trip. As long as I ain't tripping when this pen is full of hollow tips. Or I just say fuck a poem. I ain't finna wrestle with that bitch. Fuck the nouns and the verbs and they whole clique. They better get straight quick or jump ship. This page here kind of funky. I really feeling that I'm smelling bitch. I'm thinking, rip it out quick. Nah, that'll be some coward shit. I'll just spray the words with the friends for breeze. Read it or the smell of bitch. Step into my God, man, exert my power over this. And what is this? Just a gutter nigga with a gutter wit. Below the bottom spit with niggering intelligence. Mixed with my experiences, no wonder this was a poem. My spirit had to let you get. This my second time coming to Open Minds, hitting them with that gutter shit. So stand your ass up and clap, cause you know I just tomahawked this bitch. Poem.
Yeah,
You know, I just
yeah,
tomahawk this bitch.
yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
You know,
I
I just
started-
tomahawk
Kill
this
me.
bitch. That's dope.
I gotta tell y'all the truth. I wrote this poem while I've been sitting here.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what Carmen be doing too. Yo, she always comes up with a little freestyle poem during the session while she in her downtime listening to all of us, man. She just gets inspired. And I love that, man. I love that we can sit there, you know what I'm saying, and just come up and inspire each other, yo, and keep that inspiration moving, that energy moving, bro. Keep boosting everybody up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
You got
And
another
this
one
last
for us?
poem, yeah, this last poem, I never really did this. This is probably the only time I ever did it, but I'm writing. This poem is about the last time my heart just expanded and got big, and what I witnessed doing all of that. And this is about my youngest daughter, so I call it Little People, because that's her nickname. This little girl continues to amaze me. The way she processes data makes me think Bill Gates stole a strand of her DNA. And to see that this little person emulates me scares me. Am I responsible if curiosity leads her to Mary Jane's door? Should I bear the consequences when she decides to do some colorful cussing? Is it my fault she's becoming fluent in broken English? She reads an hour a day. Blame me for that. She looks forward to 2 or 3 Shel Silverstein poems every night. That's on me too. I'll even take credit for her love of annoying pop hits. Maybe, just maybe, I see the chance to mold out of her innocence a better version of me I wasn't able to be. Poem.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Man.
One love
Yeah,
to
That
you,
yo.
just like
man.
healed a little part of me.
Right? Yo, I'm sure your daughter's gonna grow up to be a beautiful poet, just like you, my man.
That was
You're doing
beautiful.
good.
Oh, what's crazy? No, it was crazy because she's already an artist, and she has her own disc. I got my own disc. She is an artist. I couldn't even imagine myself to be, because I can't draw worth shit, and
That's
she can
awesome,
draw,
man.
and
Yo,
she
keep
can.
fostering that creativity in her. You know what I'm saying? keep pushing her to do it, yo. Allow her to be herself, man, and grow artistically, yo. Like, love it, man. Love it. All right, let's all give it up for Danny Eboka. Yeah.
So this first one is really for my mother, basically. It's about my mother, basically. Goes, my mother, my spaceship, my mother, my show. She broke the hourglass that sent me blowing. She cut the deal with death that set me free, then warned me. He runs ahead, so let things be. Her body is a temple. I am all she invested. A sad seamstress with tough hands and patient eyes. She knit me with tools of civilization, then wore me skin like a black bull. She spat confidence in my eyes. My mom is my spaceship. She broke the hourglass that sent me blowing. She cut the deal with death and set me free, then whispered her sound advice in my ears. Death runs ahead, so let things be.
Yeah, that was good, man. You read that, Saharia?
No.
Oh, you gotta read that.
My mother, my
It's the mom
spaceship.
poem. It's the mom poems that really.
Yeah, the mom
God.
poems.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to get into your mama, man.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mother's Day. I'll give it Mother's
You
Day.
can embroider it.
Yeah,
It's
there you
like
go.
short enough that you can embroider it and put it on the.
Like you said,
That was
my
beautiful.
mother, my spaceship. Like, I mean, say, man, that first line let you know
That
that
was, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first line for real. The
My
first
mother, my
line,
spaceship. I
That's
knew,
the whole
this is gonna
poem.
escalate.
Thank you. The second one is so the story behind the second one is me basically fighting through like a writer's block, so having difficulty writing, and this was like my last moment of like spark of whatever you would call it. It goes, I want to write a story in Morse code, intersect black and white, mix the odds to relay a sharper experience. I want to write a story, sustain a paragraph, like a toad steady leaps across Lily Pond. I'm desperate to write a story, a line that outlasts the focal heat of my own self-criticism. I want to write a story, something short and snappy, something to incite the topid sense, words of respite from present tense. I've started writing a story actually, until which time I choked. This is my last flicker as I squeeze the reveries of its last nerve. There is nothing left but to lay and wait. But if anything, this last line or this last writing agrees that my roots run deep, deep to where molten flows. I'll escape like pythons to shed dead skin. I am versed with a writer's block. What keeps me is not merely these lines I pen down in this moment of tapered aggression. What keeps me is critical, revisiting, expanding, until I crawl out and die in the scrapyard of the galaxy, like cold stars emitting white light.
Oh,
Yeah, that was good.
What?
and you premise it with writer's block. What are you talking about?
Hey,
Yeah.
I can't even
I have
think of a
writer's block
concept
one
of
time.
writing in Morse code, man. Say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Atlas himself, man. Yo, I'm so glad he showed up. He showed up a little late, but he didn't catch the video. But you know what I'm saying? Atlas, I know you got something good for us, brother. So if you want to unmute yourself and go ahead and bless us with those words, buddy.
Bless us, please.
Yes.
Welcome to America. Welcome to America, where when we gain weight, we just buy bigger clothes. When we run out of money, we use a credit card. When we run out of space, we get a storage unit. Welcome to America. where they intentionally made cigarettes expensive so that people would hopefully quit smoking, but instead they just bum off someone else. And as they hand up that rolled up accumulation of over 100 poisons they can't even pronounce, they thank them. Where medical staffing are often found sitting outside the hospital on their cigarette breaks, complaining about how expensive their healthcare coverage is. Welcome to America, where the war on drugs has been waged against the people who sell cocaine and marijuana, while prescription medications continue to claim hundreds of thousands of lives every year. Where we tell our children, just say no to drugs, but then prescribe them 4 to 5 to take each day. Welcome to America, where we eat because we're bored, we eat because we're depressed, we eat to celebrate, we eat to forget, and on rare occasions, we eat because we are actually hungry. Here, a family sits down to watch a TV program of a family sitting down to watch TV. And we look for reality not by staring out of our many windows, but by staring into our television screen. Here, with the luxury of the internet, millions of people flock to articles to write in the comment sections about how undeserving celebrities are of their popularity, never once realizing how much they're perpetuating it. Welcome to America, where our children are far too concerned with failing pregnancy tests and drug tests to really focus on passing their math test. And the literacy rate continues to decline because the only book most kids bother to read is Facebook. Welcome to America, where it's quite common for someone to ask, "How are you?" and for them to be long gone before you even think to answer. And usually people who welcome you with a smile intend on leaving you behind with a business card, because what good is camaraderie without currency? Welcome to America, where it takes a website to tell you that you have 437 friends, but all it takes is a flat tire at 437 to show how many friends you really have. Here with the internet and the anonymity it provides, no one has to know who you are, including you. Here, people are far too concerned with finding their iPhone and their iPad than discovering whatever their true identity may be. And we are far more focused on saving on Amazon than saving our Amazon. Love all those cardboard boxes inside cardboard boxes with paper invoices. I'm sure the trees do too. Welcome to America, where we watch one business after another close its doors because people would rather go online shopping for hours than stand in line shopping for minutes. Where people are inclined to take their cell phones and take photos because they'd rather capture the moment than possibly allow the moment to capture them. Here we are no longer concerned with actually paying attention. Why bother when our attention has far more value to complete strangers who are selling it right back to us? Welcome to America, where our concerns for global warming do not start until the AC stops. Here, rappers make a living by filling their lyrics with the very same word that thousands of Blacks died in hopes of ridding from our lips. And I think it's great that there are laws in place to keep white people from calling Black people niggers, because thankfully only Black people do that, and that totally makes sense. Here, an 8-year-old boy still struggles to remember his home address but knows every word to every track of the latest Lil Wayne CD. Welcome to America, where 1/4 of the drivers do so uninsured. Their biggest complaint is insurance is too expensive, but the same people have cell phones, brand new ones that cost them $1,300. Those cell phones, by the way, responsible for 1 in 5 of the accidents they get into. Welcome to America, where they tell you don't drink and drive, but 1/3 of the billboards on the highway are telling you which beer tastes best. Welcome to America, where dating sites make billions of dollars as the divorce rate continues to skyrocket because they're looking for monthly members, not success stories. And women get fake tits because they go so well with their personality. Welcome to America, where a woman who has sex with a man for money is called a prostitute, but a woman who drives one man's car while living in another man's condominium is called a fiance. Welcome, where married couples are more likely to open their hearts to their cardiologist than their spouse. Welcome to America, where people take time out of their lunch break to feed pigeons, but then ignore the homeless man that is desperately trying to make eye contact with them. It's very odd. Many of us go up to people's babies, hug them, and tell them how beautiful they are. Well, fun fact, every homeless person you see is someone's baby. Welcome to America, where you are allowed to talk about someone with millions of followers as long as it's a face on Instagram and not actually, God. And the only thing willing to say that it trusts in God is the back of the dollar that we all blindly put our trust in. And you would swear that most of the churches in the US were in Sin City, Las Vegas, because it's that city that has the most prayer per minute. Please, Lord, let me win this next hand. Please, Lord, let me get back to my hotel room. Please, Lord, let her not have an STD. More prayer per minute there than anywhere. Welcome to America, where even atheists believe in God, except they called him Steve Jobs, because it is to him that they tithe and pay homage. $1,300 for a small rectangle, $2,600 for a larger one. Put all your hopes. Look only to technology to guide you. Technology will never fail you. But God wanted 10% of your income. We're looking for like 60 to 70%. Welcome to America, where we are the land of the free and the home of the brave, yet not brave enough to be free. The land of the free, the home of the brave, yet not brave enough to be free. Welcome to America, where you can find the nonconformists because they look, dress, and behave like all the company they keep. You can find the people who hate capitalism because they're the ones with the newest, most popular products. You can find the people who are advocates for free speech because they're the ones constantly monitoring everything people say to tell them how wrong every word is. Welcome to America, where despite what you may have come to believe, truthfully, it is not your prior spouses, your neighbors, your coworkers, your classmates, your family, or your parents that have stood in your way. Luckily, if you want to find your greatest enemy and your greatest ally, you need only seek out your reflection. Welcome to America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Be brave enough to be free. Thank you.
Yeah, Atlas.
Yeah.
Spitting that
I'm
knowledge,
provoking it
bro.
there, buddy.
Atlas, I don't mind getting chin check. I don't mind getting chin check with some grown folks just telling it how like it TI is. So
Yeah.
thank you. Keep on doing it. Don't ever stop doing it, regardless how any of us give a fuck feel about it. Keep doing it. It needs to be said. It needs to continue to be said. It needs to continue to be said. Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely, man.